I am currently attending a 4-year university for finance. I took numerous classes last semester. One of the most complained about thing from professors was the use of AI. I personally have not used AI in any of my papers because I am old enough to understand that that goes nowhere. As somebody with real work skills, like most of the kids in universities, they're coming fresh out of high school. They don't necessarily have the real world skill to understand that their grade doesn't mean nothing. In the real world, your grade doesn't mean anything. It might matter for what prestigious university you attend. Of course that matters. If you go to MIT versus if you go to who the heck knows university, you know what I mean? Like somebody with the MIT will likely get hired faster than you are because they're good academically. Let's take a step back. Professors were complaining over and over that students were using AI to write their papers, not showcasing understanding, but regurgitating information instead. The school systems not only need to adjust, but need to evolve. Since the foundation of schools in general, the emphasis was on grading. For as long as I know, what grade are you getting? What test score are you getting? But in the real world, nobody cares. When was the last time you went in an interview, they ask you, oh, what grade did you get in English, AP English in high school? Nobody cares. What was your ACT score? Nobody cares. What was your GPA in university? No one cares. As long as you earn that degree, that piece of paper, no one cares. I think the emphasis should be more on utilizing skills, on learning skills. I damn near failed my econ class. I had a C. I had a C in econ. Some of the concepts was hard. My professor didn't speak much English. I'm not blaming her because I could have done way more to understand the concepts on my own. However, it goes into my point. If I wanted to cheat, I could have used AI and got myself a B, a B plus, or an A, but I didn't. I didn't understand the concept. Whatever. Nobody's gonna care in the future. They're not gonna ask me, oh, what grade did you get? Oh, you got a C in econ? Oh, shame on you. You are a terrible student or a terrible employee. Nobody's going to care, quite literally. We are putting so much emphasis in regurgitating information in the school system rather than application of the knowledge that we are learning from these books or from these professors. Does econ matter? 100% it matters for in the finance world, especially I am being a finance student. Accounting, however, I got an A. I literally aced all my assignments because the professor did such a great job at applying the concepts that we are learning and hands-on practice of actually doing those things. Students are learning in different ways. So students have different formats of learning. You could be learning the way I am doing right now, just like speaking thoughts at you and just yelling and just like, oh, this is how you do X, Y, and Z, the graph, demand equation, blah, blah, blah. When supply goes up, demand goes down, demand supply. Like, you're not returning it instead of, showing real world examples on how that applies. I think more of that is lacking in the school. I think I'm going off tangent just a little bit. However, just to really back in, how do schools combat the usage of AI? Because we are so focused, engulfed with the idea of earning an A instead of understanding what we are learning. The idea of cheating with AI is so big, like it's irresistible almost. Like a student is paying thousands of dollars for these classes. It's not worth it to them to fail instead of just cheating and passing and moving on with their life. Because once, let's say a student is whatever degree that they're in, engineering or whatever, right? The real world examples are so much greater than whatever else they're learning. Especially like, let's say something like physics. If they are using AI to solve their physics problems, that is very, very bad for our society, okay? Because errors, these students are not really understanding these concepts for real. Yes, they have an A in physics. Yes, they have an A in these hardcore mathematics, but they don't actually understand why. The big question to me is, how will schools address the use of AI? I really don't know. Maybe schools need to evolve into more practical things. Maybe the test is showcasing, just speaking with your student one-on-one to understand, do they actually understand these concepts? I mean, even though, you can have a test in person and it's monitored, students can still cheat. That's also another thing that professors were complaining about. Online class and you were being monitored, students were still finding ways on cheating the system. That's still a thing. Like, that doesn't stop them from cheating. If there is a way to cheat, somebody will cheat. Let me know what you think though. I am very curious on this topic, especially as a student. How should schools address the use of AI in the classroom? Will students stop using AI? Is the solution to start doing more application-based, more hands-on training on these actual things? Because quite honestly, if you go into a university, your first 2 years is just straight book work. Even your first 3 years is straight book work. You're not really doing any practical skills. And You could be doing 3 years or straight using AI to pass your courses or passing your university courses, and no one will be the wiser. Also, I think less emphasis on a grade should start being normalized. More emphasis on, attending technical colleges should start being normalized. It's not lesser than if you want to go be a technical person, like go to a technical school. I don't have all the answers, but I just thought I would share this thought that I was having regarding the usage of AI in the school system. Anyways, you let me know what you think. How should schools battle the use of AI? If you are on the positive side of AI, let me know. I want to hear. If you are on the negative side of AI, I want to hear. And if you found this video useful, make sure you share it with somebody else. Thank you for watching. Peace.